I did not know what lay ahead of me. Perhaps there would be more pain, and more sorrow, and more hurt. But yet, there was an undeniable hope that kept my sore feet running, rushing into the darkness, escaping hand in hand. Everything, for once, felt right. Like everything ahead of me would be okay. As my breath drew more and more ragged, my heart beat louder and louder in my ears. The warmth emanating from your hands brought me the strength I needed. I took one last look at my old home, vowing deep in my heart to never step foot into that forsaken mansion again. Years of abuse and hurt buried deep within the bricks that held up its foundations. Lies and deceptions that had taken over my life. I wouldn't let the young and vulnerable Minaea of the past suffer any longer. She never deserved such a life. I wouldn't let the Clark's greedy hands ever touch me again. And so we rode through the night. I clung tightly to your back, hoping to never let go again. But even then, I was scared. I didn't know what was next. For years on end, I questioned why I had looked so different, why I was cast away. The undeniable truth was that I was never even a part of their family. My hair was blonde like theirs, but my eyes, they were far, far too different. I was blind to it all. Simply because I craved their love. The love of a family. I often wondered if my existence was a mistake. If I should have been alive at all. I felt that all I caused was pain and misery. I was a disgrace. I was miserable. Even when I was abused by the day, pushed around, beat and bruised, I was okay with it. I would take all the blame, any blame. I would happily take it if my family even looked at me. For at times I felt that even a glance was enough to make me happy. At least my existence was acknowledged. I just didn't want to be alone. But I came to realize it wasn't right. That was never love. That wasn't the happiness I wanted. That wasn't family. There was no warmth, only searing pain and icy burns. I finally understood, after so long, it wasn't worth being kicked around. Perhaps after experiencing withdrawals from my medicine, I could clearly see for once. The anger boiled in me. I had had enough. Enough of my blood had been spilt for their amusement. A new path opened up for me. Like the wind as my guide, you came for me, and there was light again. For months on end, you must have driven yourself mad concocting plans. Of course, I know that there is much more to this than my existence alone, than my rescue. But it was enough. But it was enough. It was a new opportunity at life. There was finally a spark of hope. Whatever role I played now, I would not let others trample upon me and my happiness again. Nor would I let them trample upon yours. Never. And so, we continued to ride far into Alasia, stopping at an inn for the rest of the night and day to rest. Oh, you're back already. Yes, it was very nice. I quite enjoyed the bathhouse. It was pleasant to have some hot water to bathe with. It has been a long time since I was able to experience such warmth. Perhaps I won't be catching colds as often now. I like this place. It is quite nice for being in the middle of nowhere. We are lucky to have found this place, and with an empty room on such short notice. The ladies were very kind as well. Though, they did embarrass you a little, did they not? You were so flushed when they asked us if we were newlyweds. And, well, I suppose that, well, we are lovers and friends, if nothing else. It was rather nice to see you turn red like that. I love you. It feels good to say that. I hope you don't mind if I say it over and over again. No? Good. You must be very relieved. As am I. It is good we were able to leave so swiftly. Hopefully no one recognizes us. Which, thank you for the new clothes. No, they're not too simple at all. No. They're perfect. Anything I receive from you makes me happy beyond belief. I mean, I still wear those ribbons from time to time. The ones that you got me. You must have been well prepared to rescue me if you have all of this. I am very grateful for your kindness and your efforts. Yes, I feel much better now. Don't worry. See? My wounds are practically gone now thanks to your healing. You must have practiced magic a great deal whilst I was gone, too. I am the tiniest bit sore, though, but I suppose the pain and aches from a long day's work won't go away even with the help of your magic. But, how are you feeling? Are you doing all right? It must have been so difficult for you. It has been a very long night. For the both of us. Hey, how about you come and sit next to me by the fire for a little bit? You don't need to sit so far away. I know it must be a bit awkward since, well, you have always been my lord, and I your maid, but I suppose it would be better for us to do away with those formalities. So, come here. It'll be much warmer. It is nice, isn't it? I love the sound of it. I don't like the suit so much, though. I am very happy to be finally reunited like this after so many months. I'm so sorry it has been so long. I couldn't have done much, could I? There are so many things going on at once, so many factors and so many people involved. I could have very easily been killed, whether it be at my family hands or that of the queen. I never expected any of this to happen to us. Never in my days would I have thought that someone would go to the lengths that you did for me. And for that I will always be grateful. I'm happy that you love me so purely. I know that we have been friends for a very long time, and to think that blossomed into more for you as well. It feels like I'm living in one of those folk tales now. Like the ones we read as children. To find your true love. That was once but a silly dream. Up in that attic, I I wished and hoped that I would find that for myself, but it seemed impossible at times. It was never in my grasp. You know, I had been told since I was very young that I would be married off for the benefit of my family. It would be their decision to make, not my own. Love wasn't really something I was allowed. I felt trapped by the pressures of my family, by the pressures placed on us. They had drilled it into my head, over and over and over again. I just didn't want to make any reckless decisions. You know it best. It was not as simple as drenching our hands in blood or fleeing our responsibilities without a plan. You're a strategist at heart. You knew it too, didn't you? That's why we let go of one another, didn't we? We had to make our own decisions then. I didn't want to hurt your future. And I'm sorry that I let you go. I was okay with you hating me, as long as you were safe. Though I suppose that if you did come to save me, you can't have hated me that much for it. I know it was far too late, but it took a long time to finally gain some semblance of clarity. I know it was very difficult to get here and to be here together. But we can look forward together now, towards something new. Our future. I hope you don't mind if I'm a bit more selfish now. I think I've just had enough of catering to others. I don't think I can sit back and get trampled on anymore. I want to be upfront and true to my feelings instead of pushing them down for years on end. Yes. I've just had enough. It's like something snapped in me. And I don't want to seem different all of a sudden or anything. I'm still that same girl after all. I'm still your Minaea. I think that I've just grown a little. I can't sit back anymore. And I can take my life back now thanks to you. Especially if things are already in motion. Which I must ask you in regards to my life. You've yet to explain much to me. I don't want to be in the dark anymore. I know that it must be a lot of information, but I simply must know. I have so many questions, so many thoughts swirling around in my head. It feels like a constant buzzing. It is just bizarre, truly learning that most of your life, what you knew to be your family, was a lie. Who am I? Whose blood flows through my veins if I am not a Clark? I always felt like an outcast, and it all makes sense with what you told me back at the estate, but I need details from you. You need not hide anything from me anymore. I can take it. My theories. Well, I always had a sneaking suspicion that I was a bastard child of some sort. My hair was a pale blonde, but my eyes were so red. Avari has blue eyes like mother and father. So I didn't understand where it came from. Even the servants seemed to look at me oddly. But it never made sense why they'd keep me in the house and not cast me away. It would be easy enough. There was also a weird time where they treated me a little better. There were gifts given to me by a mysterious benefactor, but I never knew who. Are they who I'm related to? In a sense. What do you mean by that? You must know who my mother and father are. What? Does this have to do something with my ailment? These swirling colors of blue, red, and grays? But I've been told all my life it was just a disease. Even the Grand Duke and Duchess provided me with such medicine to cure it. My eyes are a symbol of the Imperial bloodline, but how? No. Wait. I remember. You told me once after one of your history lessons. A gift bestowed upon the House of Alasia to Empress Era from the gods. Right. So, then all I have been seeing is the feelings of others. All that red was just pure malice and hatred then. I see. I understand. But it can only be possessed by those in the main line, right? The first succession? But then I could only be Emperor Neo's child. But neither the former Empress nor Queen have blonde hair. I don't... My lord, please do not hesitate. Tell me, who's my mother? Is she alive? What happened to her? How come I've ended up at the Clarks of all places? What is this? If I read it, will it make a little more sense? Huh. What? This is funding. From the inner palace to the Clarks. Even all the way back when Empress Erish was alive. I am nearly the same age as Princess Era after all. Perhaps that is why they punished me so horribly when I snuck onto Avari's carriage to the party at the capital. Had anyone seen me on that day with my red eyes, and perhaps my general appearance, I would have been recognized. But why hide an illegitimate child within reach like that? Why did no one ever reach out to me? If I was practically within arm's length. Even Queen Despina paid the Clarks to hold me there. Until it slowly decreased over time. Perhaps that is why my parents, the Clarks, chose to sell me off. They were running out of money from previous payments. But then Emperor Neo never knew of my birth then, did he? I doubt he would let the inner palace deal with finances for his own illegitimate child. It would have to come from him. He doesn't know then, does he? That there's another Imperial princess out there. Even by law, I still hold rights to succession. Even if I would be automatically placed last, but I could have easily been dealt with. I could have been killed. So why keep me alive? My mother's who? Lady Ina Arista of Citus? But no way. Was that not Empress Erish's beloved sister? How could Emperor Neo do such a thing? How could he? How could she? How could they betray Empress Erish's trust? That must have been absolutely heartbreaking. Perhaps my existence wasn't meant to be after all. Their love, my birth, that must must have brought so much misery and pain to everyone. But that is why I'm still alive, isn't it? I heard their tale once, how inseparable they were as sisters. Empress Erish must have wanted to keep me alive for Lady Ina's sake after she passed away. But then when Empress Erish died, that duty was passed on to Queen Despina. No, I'm not okay. I just didn't know that my birth would cause so much pain. I know. It's not as if it was my choice to be born, but there is some source of guilt that I feel. I don't even know what to say anymore, truthfully. It all feels so painful. No, I needed to know. You need not apologize to me. It is the truth that I needed to know. But then, how does any of this tie into your parents or the Queen? Why is she to be deposed? No. That is insane. They are traitors to the Empire. They starved out Ladle's agriculture system simply to boost the economy of Glaris. And with even more death present, more blights occurred, do they not? I remember that was a problem, having to be constantly dealt with. Making troops more sparse along trade routes. There's no way. Is that why this war is happening? They're trying to have Glaris overtake the Empire? But what use am I to her plans? Was it the medicine? It did suppress it, didn't it? My magic. Do you know what her plans were for it? If I was a guinea pig? I see. I suppose there will be a need for more investigation then. So Princess Seiya discovered all this. I see. I suppose it was time to get the ball rolling then if she was going to get rid of her mother. No, I'm all right. Well, as best as I can be, I suppose. There was so much more to it than I imagined. So what are our next plans? After this, I just want to get a clear view of what we're going to do. I suppose that would be logical, if Princess Seiya is willing to do that. An asylum of sorts, then. As long as we are both safe. Then I guess I will need to prepare myself to visit the Emperor himself. My father. I wonder if he'd see some sort of resemblance. No matter, I suppose. In just a few days' time, then. We'll be in the capital. Well, in a sense, yes. With my real family. But for now, you're my family. It was a lot. And it hurts. And I'm surprised, and yet at the same time, I think I can move on now knowing the truth. Hey, how how about we sleep? I'm sure you're tired as well. There's a few hours till sunrise. Yes, let's. I'm sorry. I didn't think that you'd wake up. The courtyard seemed nice and I couldn't quite sleep, unsurprisingly. I thought, as soon as I closed my eyes I would, but the buzzing and, my thoughts, it is quite difficult to sleep properly, it seems. I just wanted some fresh air. No, I don't think I want to be alone anymore. I could use some company, certainly. I'm just nervous. Scared, really. It's sad. At the drop of a hat, here I am. An Imperial princess, of all people. My father is an emperor who betrayed the trust of his wife. My mother betrayed her own sister. Was adopted into a horrible family for all of my life. And I'm somehow wrapped up in a plot to overthrow this empire. Who wouldn't feel overwhelmed? I feel as if my existence is nothing but a mistake. I just feel like I shouldn't be here. That my birth was nothing but a mistake. I am a mistake. I know that I'm safe now, but at the same time it's all so uncertain. It's not as if I want to go back to my old life. All this change is simply terrifying. You need not blame yourself. I wanted to know all of this. I couldn't be kept in the dark any longer. But if there is to be a constant in my life, I want it to be you. Even if things get murky and dark, I just hope that you'll stay by my side. I hope that you won't abandon me like everyone else did. I know you would never, and I trust you with my life. And I want to be by your side. And I want you to be by mine. Supporting one another. You know? I always have done as your maid anyhow. Staying up late with you to keep you company. Running back and forth to the kitchen to get you snacks whenever you were hungry. Cleaning up after you and making sure you were happy. We've always been together and I don't want that to change. I never want to let go of your hand again. sorry. No, I want to be with you from now on and forevermore. My lord, what are you doing? That you are you sure it's me you want? I've never been so sure of anything either. Of course I'll marry you. I've never dreamed of anything better. It's beautiful. Yes, I love you. I love you so much, my lord. I love you. I love you. 1,000 times over. Yes. I am a bit chilly now. Let us head inside to our room. I love you.